good people? What's going on with you? It is Monday, and everybody is ready, ready, ready. Get it ready, get it ready, ready. Y'all been doing it up this weekend. This weekend was one of them weekends, boy. If you weren't in the place to be, where's the place to be, Gerod? Everywhere. It was so much stuff going on in the city this weekend. Good Lord. It was hard to keep up. It was hard to keep up. All the folks at Zulu, they were hanging out. They had the Zulu picnic this weekend out in City Park. They had the International Fest over at Armstrong Park. My Vietnamese friends had their big event out at Mary Queen of Vietnam. I went out there. We went out there yesterday evening. I swear to, you know what I got to do? Oh, here comes Dr. Shepard. Woo, 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 woo. Hey. How? They ain't playing up in here.
I feel a little disoriented.
You ain't disoriented. If you was disoriented before you got here. Nah. Come on over. How you doing?
I'm doing well.
What you did the weekend?
Let's see. What did I do for the weekend?
Stay off the television.
That was last week, G.
It don't matter.
That was last week that I was on the TV.
There's a story behind that. I told her last week she going out to protest. I said before she got off the air, I said, stay out of trouble.
That's not what he said. He did not say out of. Did you say stay out of trouble?
Stay out of trouble.
Because I think that's good trouble. I thought he said stay out of jail.
That too.
So that's what I did. You didn't have to get me from jail. We had a miscommunication. Is what it was.
Mm-hmm. And where was you? I turned on the TV. I said, "Oh Lord."
We who believe in freedom,
standing right in front of the TV,
cannot rest.
Let me tell you what I think. I said, oh. I said, all the hundreds of people that was out there. How come you standing there and see? And this means this, and this means that.
Because I got
the T-shirt on. And the boy is standing right there. He had on glass shades.
Yeah, that was Max looking cool.
I said, I just shook my head. I ain't say nothing else. I just shook my head. I said, I could have sworn I said, stay out of trouble.
See, I call that good trouble. I don't really think of that as trouble. And I thought you said stay out of jail. So I felt like I was adhering to what you said. I did stay out of jail. Okay. I was free. I didn't have to call you this time.
Help us.
I didn't have to ask you to ask Susan for a favor. I didn't have to do none of that. This time I was free.
I was just going to try to make sure you was not in general lockup. That's about it.
Right. I thought that was the promise. Okay, so just to let people know, I was out at the Stop the Grain Train protest,
yes.
Right? And I told you that I have students who are also working with Stop the Grain Train and Stop the Lock or the Canal Will Kill NOLA. So part of their work is having to go to meetings and to show up. And when we went to the Stop the Grain Train meeting / protests where the Port of New Orleans and the Norfolk Southern and Sunrise Foods, they were all supposed to be having, I guess, almost like information sessions to explain how that the projects would impact the neighborhood. But it was set up in such a way where it was segmented. It was like divide and conquer inside the building. They didn't have a central place for them to be able to have questions or to talk about the impact with the neighbors. It was a really disgusting meeting. The people from the port only stayed there for about 8 minutes
Mm.
and didn't want to answer questions and said that they needed to leave and walked out of the room.
So that was not a meeting.
It really wasn't a meeting, and the residents are asking for a public forum where they would be able to actually be in a room, ask questions, and have those things answered. And that's not what they received. It was really disheartening, disgusting the way that they treated residents
Mm.
and even attacked, verbally attacked them at times and things like that. So I just tried to make sure that when I had the ability, I asked questions because um
Did you ask?
I did.
What did you ask?
Okay, so what happened was somebody had asked them
When the story starts off with "see what had happened" was, I'm like, "Oh Lord,"
because it gets real. Okay, because it gets real is what it is.
"Oh Lord."
Okay, so somebody asked them with city council having passed a resolution asking you all to move the project, will you all consider moving the project? And they couldn't give a straight answer on that.
What do you mean?
It was like they were like, well, we respect, the thoughts of city council and appreciate their input. It was like carefully worded things that didn't answer the question. The question is, are you all going to take into account the fact that City Council passed a resolution asking you to move the grain train? And there was no definitive answer. And we just, I just kept asking. The person who I'm speaking about left out of the meeting after 8 minutes.
And he did not answer the question.
Did not answer the question. Started answering. They were inside of a room, no microphone, packed, and was, speaking kind of low like this. And people like, speak up. Yes, we respect the thoughts of city council. Like that. So when she got upset and walked out the room, I went to go ask. I said, I couldn't hear.
You went behind her?
Yeah, I couldn't hear. What's the answer?
That's the part that I'm talking about right there.
I said, I couldn't hear the answer. What's the answer? Because my students have been submitting public comments to city council. So I'm trying to relay whatever happens back to my students as well.
So what does city council say to you or say about this whole issue about this grant? Because, see, one thing you got to understand about it, nothing happens in the city of New Orleans unless there is a agreement through city council to get permits or commission. Nothing.
Well, the way that I understand the project to have taken place is that it is through the port of New Orleans, and also with these private companies. Okay, and it seems as though they had left city council out of it entirely. Now, I'm hearing you say that they have to file for permits, but what I'm finding out from having my students involved is that the port is a higher authority than city council.
The port authority.
So eventually, what the question that the woman didn't want to answer, eventually she answers it and says, we don't have to respect what city council passes because we're a higher authority. Now, it's nice that they did that, but we don't have to take that into account. And we don't have to take into account what the neighbors say or what the neighborhood says. And so that was the meeting. Now, I'll just go ahead and say I already had a field trip planned for my students to go and see the areas where the grain train would impact. So we went to the lower Ninth Ward. We went up the street where the tracks are
run right in front of
people's homes.
And they also run right in front of the Ep Center, where they have all these senior citizens.
Yeah.
And also McDonald. It was the old McDonald
19. Yep.
So when we asked them about it, they were like, we have a real problem with it because it's not even 30 feet.
Oh, no. It's not.
It runs right in front.
It runs right in front of people's houses. And the streets right there are really narrow. It almost feels like a little country town, because the streets are really narrow. And when we came up with our bus, okay, so we came up with a little charter, school bus,
Mm-hmm.
and not the big bus, the little short bus. Okay, but a Xavier short bus. We come up the street with that, and on either side of us, we're on the train tracks.
Mm-hmm.
And on either side of us, if somebody parked a car outside of their house, it would be right along the side. We'd be squeezing our bus on top of the train tracks right by people's cars.
Right.
So it's that narrow leading up to the Alamo Wharf. And they said that there's something like 30 to 40 intersections. And every time the bus gets to an intersection, it's got to blow 4 times.
So it won't hit a car.
Yeah, but it's going to blow. Bah, 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 bah. Every time that it gets to an intersection, there's something like 40 intersections. And it's going to happen every single day.
How's it going to sound?
Bah, bah. Ting-a-ling-a-ling.
Ain't nobody going to say nothing, but here comes Dr. Shepherd. And they going to say, here comes Dr. Shepherd.
Okay, so it's that. They had already started running some smaller shipments on those same rail lines sometime during COVID. Maybe not the ones in the neighborhood, but people are already starting to see foundational issues with meaning cracks in their foundations and their walls from just the little bit that they were already running. So to say that they're going to be importing more grain and shipping it out west or wherever else is going to wind up impacting this community of people who don't want it. So I brought my students out there. Now you should also know there's a little viral video going right now of a guy who was inside the neighborhood who saw the protest. And he was like, what we doing? We protesting? Ran home, grabbed the bullhorn, came back to the protest. When at the end of last week, that video had 4 million views. So there is a viral component to the activism that's taking place right now. And people are saying that, of course, the neighborhood should be able to dictate what they want inside of their neighborhood. If this grain train runs, there'll be fermented grain that drops down. It'll stink. It'll attract rodents. They don't really have a clear rodent plan. They're expecting that rodents are going to wind up inside the Alamo Wharf. I mean, there's so many different dimensions to why this project is bad, why they needed more ideas about community impact.
Right. And I know one of the things, and I was talking to Reverend Calhoun about that, and that is that, he told me when he was a younger man that he worked in a wharf where they did grain and all that. He said, you got to really pay attention to it because it has an explosive.
Yeah, it's flammable.
It's flammable. And I was like, grain?
Yeah.
He said, yeah, grain. He said, it's the fumes.
Yeah.
I never thought about that, though, that it would have some type of flammable content to it. But it does.
It's a hazard.
Yeah.
And so just and I'm not even the expert. I'm just giving support toward the grain train or Stop the Grain Train people. So I'm not even the expert, but just what we just said, that's a lot of different aspects. So that's what I did. And then because I kind of tried to make sure I got a clear answer out of the Port of New Orleans about how they were going to treat the resolution from City Council, then somebody saw me and they was like, will you do an interview with us? And that's how I got on the news. But I did not go to jail.
You didn't hear me say nothing, did you? You heard me sit here quiet?
Yes.
Say that again. Say that again.
I said, but I did not go to jail.
Help us, Jesus.
And that's just helping with Stop the Grain Train. I'm not even all the way done with Stop the Lock yet. Okay. So
Stop the Lock is that's the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers issue.
Yeah.
That's number one. Number two, I've had several different conversations with folks too, because it always seems to be something that's an improvement, but it's an improvement that's going to be detrimental to the folks of the Lower Ninth Ward. Because I'm trying to figure out how much more land is going to be needed for this new lock.
Oh, so that's the thing. So they're looking at possibly expanding it several blocks. It's not just that they want to revise the lock, they want to move the lock.
Mm-hmm.
And that right there seems like it has the potential to, I'm just going to say this on my own thoughts and ideas. It seems like it has the potential to reflood the lower ninth ward. And that, let me go back to say,
Why you think that?
because the way that they explained it to me, the way that some of the engineers explained it to me is when they move the lock further inward, see, the lock is there to be able to assist with the fact that there's two different water levels.
Right.
So when they move the lock back, the water level that's higher, the levees that's along that further part back is not meant to hold that higher amount of water. They're built to hold the lower amount of water. So they're at least going to have to extend those levees upward too.
Probably
And so
strengthen the levees.
they're gonna have to build the levees higher.
Right.
And so just with the fact that the Army Corps of Engineers has not necessarily had a great track record with construction inside the lower ninth ward means that we shouldn't just give them the shadow of the doubt for something so humongous of a project. Additionally, it's going to harm them in other ways. So they would have to wind up shutting down one of the bridges, the I'm trying to
Not the Claiborne, but the Poland Bridge.
yeah,
Right,
they would have to shut that down, which then makes makes the traffic really bad going out there, but also it makes things like evacuations bad. And they're proposing that it's going to wind up taking like years to be able to complete this kind of project. And it's not really, unless they buy up a few additional blocks, outward, it's not really going to give them the capacity to be able to move the amount of ships that maybe they would need. But what people are hoping is that they go and pick another area to be able to bring it to. Now, I've heard people throw out the idea of Violet. I'm not about to say that it should go through Violet, but people are saying, why would you pick on an area that's already experienced environmental injustice, especially with the Corps of Engineers? And after Hurricane Katrina, like that area still needs justice. So why you keep picking on the little guy as opposed to finding a different place?
Plus, with me running for mayor.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I got an economic development plan for that area. Yeah. Oh, I can't run now?
No, I've been wanted you to run.
No, I'm too late now. I'm sorry.
Oh, you mean to make it seem like you really wanted to, but now it's too late and now you can't really.
I missed it. Doggone it.
I've been asked you about that. You said all the little ladies that would run out the woodworks would take your campaign down.
How you gonna tell that on the air? How you gonna tell that on the air? We gotta take a break.
I'm just saying.
I'm gonna beat you up when we get out there.
The people have a right to know. Okay, before you run.
No, they don't. We gotta take a break, y'all. We're gonna take a break here while I have a conversation with Miss. No, we're gonna take a break here, and we'll be back with more in just a minute, y'all. Everybody, hold tight.
Hoops, Heat, The Truth, on demand. Ball Don't Lie is now live on all podcast platforms. Tap in, search WBOK Media, find Ball Don't Lie, and bring the fire with you wherever you go. Download, share, and leave that 5-star review, because the game doesn't stop when the show ends.
Tired of the impersonal, one-size-fit-all style of banking? You deserve a bank that delivers exceptional service and personalized attention to your needs. That's the Home Bank Standard. Since 1908, Home Bank has been a trusted financial partner for businesses and families because we go the extra mile to help you reach your goals. See for yourself why Home Bank is good for business, good for life. Stop by any New Orleans area location or find out more at home24bank.com. Home Bank, member FDIC.
Looking to join an organization that is committed to help promote economic development in New Orleans East? Look no further. The Greater New Orleans East Business Alliance is a member-based nonprofit organization made up of business owners and local professionals united for the purpose to promote business development in Eastern New Orleans. If you want to become a member, call us at 504-957-3568.
At New Orleans East Hospital, we believe healthcare should come with heart. Located at 5620 Reed Boulevard, we proudly serve the New Orleans community with compassion, courtesy, and a commitment to excellence. From healing to education, we want to be your trusted healthcare partner that's close to home. New Orleans East Hospital, delivering a culture of healthy care.
Visit DePaul's new Algiers Health Center at 2801 General de Gaulle Drive to receive primary and preventive care for both adults and children. Services also include behavioral health, imaging, and on-site pharmacy, vision, Medicaid enrollment assistance, and more. For appointments, visit DePaulCommunityHealthCenters.org or call 504-207-3060.
This is Andronica Morris, host of Put Housing First. Join us every Tuesday at 12 o'clock, where we will discuss how housing affects every aspect of our lives and what's necessary, what's needed to guarantee housing for all. Join us every Tuesday at 12 o'clock as we dig down deep onto the issues that affect all of us.
Making a difference in the community. WBOK 1230 AM. Here we go. The reality check on WBOK 1230 AM.
All right, folks, welcome back. Welcome back. Gerard Stevens with Rebel number 1.
Dr. Shepard. Hello, everybody.
So what else did you do this weekend? Because we just got through last weekend. We didn't even get to
because that was last week. Let's see, this weekend, nothing. I just chilled out, cleaned up. We had at church, they had played the Saints game after church, and that was pretty funny. Mm-hmm. You see all the old ladies up there like, get him! Get that boy! Pull him to the ground!
Yes, indeed.
After they just praise God,
yeah.
you know? So that's a bit funny, but that's all.
I had a joke, but I'm going to leave it alone because it wouldn't be good to talk about it.
Don't talk about the church people.
Mm-mm. So I went to, let me see.
Oh, wait, I did do something interesting.
Right.
I went to D1's concert on Friday.
So am I wrong? Or did I see this on the news?
Uh-huh.
Where they pulled D1's tour bus over?
Yeah.
And searched it for drugs?
Yes, you are right. Now
D1?
Yes, D1.
Christian rapper D1?
Christian rapper D1.
Was he smoking?
No, of course not.
Or was he sniffing?
Of course not. Don't say that.
Was he injecting?
He wasn't doing anything. He just was driving with dreads.
And they pulled the bus over.
And see, you calling it a tour bus, but what he did, he was in his car.
Okay.
So he's been using his personal vehicle as his tour bus.
Because I saw the man, the cop, opening up the back of his car.
Yep, and pulling everything out.
They said it was a tour bus, so I didn't know if it was a car following or.
No, he was using the car as his tour bus because he was, like just bringing it down to what he can do, So yeah, they saw him. They pulled over his car.
Where was this?
Oh, I would lie to you if I said I knew exactly where. We would have to look it up.
Because he had dreads.
Well, I mean, you would think it's racially profiling, something along those lines. And
because it was funny in a bit because you could hear him standing on the side.
Yeah.
When the police officer pulled out a box of something, I guess it was some of his paraphernalia.
Don't call it paraphernalia.
Paraphernalia meaning a rapper.
Yeah.
Rapper's paraphernalia.
Okay.
And he asked him, "Hey, you want a calendar or you want a record?"
Right.
I thought that was funny.
You thought that was funny.
I thought it was funny.
I was scared for him.
What, really?
Yeah, I was scared for him because first of all, we have different sentiments around the police, G. So you would think it's funny. I would be like, I hope this brother gets to where he needs to be safely. So I'm gonna just say that. But like, as soon as I've been searched. I've had them start pulling stuff out of my car and everything like that. So maybe it's something for me. You know what I mean? But I always think that in those situations, they can always plant something on you. Mm-hmm. They can put something in there, especially if they feel like we have to get something, especially if the stop has gone on for too long, So, and he says that he had gotten something from a fan that gave him something that it said dope dealer, and it was scratched out, and it said the D was scratched out, and it's a H, and it says hope dealer. Because he says, I'm not a dope dealer, I'm a hope dealer.
Right.
But they saw the thing that said dope dealer and felt like they needed to look even deeper. And so, yeah, he wound up being pulled over. And New Orleans was the last stop on his tour, I believe, his Hypocritical Hop tour.
Right.
Which is, man, it was so good. It was such a great performance. He brought out Mac from No Limit, you know, and they performed a song together.
Mm-hmm.
He brought out somebody from Rebirth Brass Band, and they did their song together. It was really good. He crowd surfed. It was a great performance.
Where was this?
At the Dewdrop Inn.
When?
Friday.
Really?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
What you doing in the Dewdrop Inn?
Well, first of all, having a good time, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And me and my friend, we were celebrating our 20-year friend anniversary. So that's what we did. We went
21 year what?
20-year friend anniversary.
Y'all be making
Shout outs
stuff
to
up.
Joshua Tree.
Y'all be making
Shout
stuff
out.
up.
Our 20-year friend anniversary. Because we've been friends since a little bit after Hurricanes Katrina and Rita.
Monique
So.
said that they were telling them that they smell weed.
Yeah, they told him that they had smelled some weed. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But you smell weed everywhere.
But you only smell weed once the car is pulled over. You don't smell the weed before the car is pulled over. That was just. I feel like that was just a way to be able to get into the car.
But they didn't find anything.
Of course not.
And they brought the canines out.
Yes, I believe that they did.
Yeah, I mean, I was reading it. They brought the canine out and said that the canine hit on the car.
Yeah.
I'm like, what does that mean? Canine can get it wrong too, right?
Right.
So what happened after that?
The way that I saw the stop closing out, it looked like they was like, okay, you know, sent him on his way. You know, I don't know if they helped him to put his stuff back up or whatever. I saw part of it live, you know, so.
Oh, he was filming it?
Yeah, he was live streaming it as it was occurring.
I saw, this was my college days. I was riding in a car with one of my friends. We were coming back from Winston-Salem, North Carolina. And we were on our way back to Raleigh, Durham, and got pulled over by the police. And they were trying to say that, you know, some drugs were in the car. So they asked everybody to get out the car. I ain't had no problem with it. I got out the car. Stood on the side of the road. Now, this is the problem I had with it, is that at least 2 or 3 more units pulled up. And they all got out of their vehicles, and they started going through ours. They were taking out everything, clothes, going through the suitcases, digging in, not putting them back. I mean, just making a wreck of everything. Taking all the stuff. We had a lot of equipment, which was, you know, sound equipment. And, of course, we got questioned about the sound equipment because they're like, what y'all doing with all this expensive sound equipment? Like, we own it. You know, we do shows. So they took it out, set everything down on the ground, and when they finished, they said, all right, nothing here. Y'all be careful.
Yep, and left all your stuff out there.
All the stuff on the side of the road.
That's what happened to me.
That's the problem I have. If you're going to take it out, put it back.
You got to put it back.
They ain't put it back. And they pulled off.
Yeah, that's what happened to me. And mine's happened on a back roads in the dark after Hurricane Katrina. So for me, that's why I was saying, like, something like that feels like a little PTSD, maybe personally, so I might project a little bit. But I was concerned about his safety and the fact that, like, they could plant something. You know, they could plant something.
But he was filming it.
And how dehumanizing it can be.
It is very.
You know, and you have to catch them planting it. You know what I mean? You got to actually, even if you're filming, you know, you could be filming here and they planting it over there. You know, you don't ever really know. It's such an unsafe situation. So I'm glad that he was able to safely make it to New Orleans, and he gave us a great show. And as a matter of fact, they had a panel beforehand that where they had Keedy Black on the panel, they had Reggie Art on the panel, and a few other people whose names, you know, might be escaping me right now, but they did a really good job talking about how to be able to be, well, for example, one of the questions that they asked was like, are you being driven by your passion? Like, is your career also what God sent you here to be able to do? And they also talked about the state of hip hop and about being able to be uplifting inside of the city. Like, it was a really great forum that they had before the show, and then he did the show. So it was very dynamic. I had a great time, and I really wish that even more people would have came to see him. I think that should have been a extremely packed house. They had folks in that thing, but it's like you would want something like that to be like standing room only, so more people could see.
So let me ask you a question, and let's involve folks in this too, because I forgot to open up the telephone lines. 504-582-9422. And I think it's a pretty serious question, but it's one that I think has to do with understanding. And since you are on the cusp of having that conversation with young people all the time, because you involve your kids in just about all of your activities that you do.
Mm-hmm.
Are kids watching? Are young folks really watching what's going on politically, socially? I mean, even in the state of what I think America is going down instead of rising up, are they really paying attention? Because it's one thing to have a conversation about where we are, what we had to fight for, but of course they're trying to erase that. Are they really understanding? Hey, wait a minute, 5 years ago, we had this. Today, it's different. And do they appreciate it because they're young?
So it's, first of all, it's spread. Some people understand, some people are not paying any attention, and I think you just get that just out in general public. So I'm always trying to get people up to speed. Sometimes I come into class talking about current events to be able to get and, show them why it matters, what we're learning about past things and how it's circulating back to them in the present. So some people are more knowledgeable than other folks about what's happening currently and have opinions. And I'm always trying to jog them up to the point, even if they don't have it. So I don't know. I think that we see some people having it, but we really need to do better service to our young people to make sure that they know how to think critically and engage in what's happening now. You would be amazed by the things that they don't know.
I'm just to the point now where I'm saying that, there seems to be the act of revenge. Because over the weekend, I'm hearing where Trump is now prosecuting the former head of the FBI.
Yeah, no, they wouldn't. Most of them don't know stuff like that or even understand like what that is, like why he would be doing that. And, a lot of them don't know that. But also you're talking about young people because they're coming into their political consciousness, right? If they haven't been trained, then they're starting to learn those things. So you got to give them grace. And sometimes that be the issue.
Well, the reason why I brought that up is the fact that, it seems like to me what happens on that level, national level, trickles down. There seems to be a trickle down effect. I'm going to give you a full instance.
Not the trickle down theory.
Yeah, and it's not trickle down from a positive.
Economic.
Yeah, it's not economics. It's more so be a copycat of doing what we see being done on a higher level, on a national or federal level. And it seems like after they do it, it comes to us. So I'm wondering, will there be a trickle down effect, which is negative, because they're following whatever the orange man says follow and do?
Oh, for sure. Of course there is. We have his, best bed buddy as our governor. So, of course, we're going to wind up experiencing it. I think the issue is informing the kids and the students about what that's going to mean. Not everybody who are my students, like a lot of them aren't even from here. So when we say, the National Guard could come in, they don't really know what that means.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's like trying to make sure that they understand that one, it's even going to happen, that they've received word of what it's going to be, and two, how it's going to impact them, because they're the young people who are going to be going to and fro around the streets, so they don't always know, but I try to jog them up on what's going on.
So over the weekend, I went through a couple of history facts, and one of which, when I was looking at the protests, and even the protests here when they were trying to desegregate the schools, we saw different things that would happen. Even in Alabama, when they had protests with black people in Alabama, I think it was with Wallace, and then they did the same thing that I'm looking around and saying, wait a minute, let me do the comparison here. The comparison to me, tell me if I'm far off base.
Okay.
They brought in the National Guard.
Mm-hmm.
Here we are today talking about bringing in the National Guard.
Mm-hmm.
So the balance to me is like, we're just going back to where they were scared to say that, well, number one, we don't want to desegregate the schools or desegregate the city. We want them to pay attention to what's going on. And if you look at what's going on now in these cities, we're talking about cities where there is an abundance of Democrats and African Americans.
Right. I'm not
And
sure.
Here comes the National Guard again.
I'm not sure if they're understanding it as political suppression. I feel like maybe that would be a good question for me to pose to them, is to see if they understand it as that. But yeah, they just, some people understand, oh, the National Guard might be coming in, but they might not see it as he's attacking us because we're a Democratic base. And look at what he just did with Portland.
Right.
He called them war-torn Portland. And it's like, what war is there in Portland? So I'm not sure if they see it as a part of that or not,
And here's the other one that kind of crossed my brain here. So, I had some deep thoughts by myself.
Of course.
I was answering myself, too.
I'm glad you brought the conversation to the radio.
Oh, we had a good conversation.
Okay.
Me, myself, and I, all three of us. But I am now looking around and saying that it looks like, to me, the number one person that you got to look out for taking out folks is young 20, 30-year-old white males.
Yes.
You agree?
It's not a matter of me agreeing.
But they are.
It's a matter of research.
And it's a matter of just looking.
I mean, it's a matter of looking. It is a matter of looking. It's obvious to anybody because the demographic is that bad. But there was a study that right after, I want to say the Charlie Kirk murder, I want to say that someone made reference to a government report that said that far-right extremism is a form of domestic terrorism that is threatening the country. Like, it's the greatest threat to the country.
Right.
And when a
but
person,
the perpetrator is.
And when a person cited that study in like asking a question to Pam Bondi or whoever it was, the Trump administration went and erased it from online so that it was hard to find it. Now, there are some old archives of what's online. So I have the report that they attempted to eliminate. But in the report, it clearly states that the issue is young white male domestic terrorism that is activated by the far right extremism. And we all know that to be true. So this is like going into what we all already know and see, but what the conservative rhetoric has done is allowed it to be segmented. Like, oh, this person is trans, or oh, this person is this, or oh, they're mentally unstable, or oh, they played these video games, or they watched these violent movies, or they did. And so what they've done is allowed it to be about all these characteristics rather than to let it be about the fact that there is white male extremism. I was watching something
I think they radicalize it. I think the far left radicalizes it.
You mean right?
Right. Yeah. Right.
Radicalizes it. Well, that's what I was gonna say. There's this guy. He was on either Cox News or CNN or something like that. And when he was talking, he said people are not paying attention to the fact that a lot of white men have been extremely isolated. They haven't come out of the COVID isolation bubble, and they're victims of the algorithm. So they've been inside of their homes, kind of antisocial, because of COVID. Some of them still haven't necessarily come out, and the algorithm knows how to give them what they already want and to continuously push the button.
It's beating them down.
And so they're feeding them the information, is beating them down. And once you're inside of a certain algorithm like loophole, you don't get a chance to see the alternative perspectives
and then
either.
You're looking for that algorithm.
Right. And there's now people who create content to feed that.
Right.
So it's not like you're just looking for off random stuff. Now they can go and just watch Fox News, and Fox News is talking about how they need to kill homeless people on just the regular news. So just a regular soundbite of that can travel and go to them. There's all kinds of young men right now that when they just had the young man in Mississippi who was lynched, around from that same area was a white guy. He released a song about lynching people. He has a song out about it.
Yeah,
and so
the country magas.
There are
That's what they call
content
them.
creators
They're making country songs now
about lynching people.
Yeah.
And they had in the video the bloodhounds and everything. And so they don't even have to look far or be extreme or go to the dark web to be able to get riled up by this. Right. Even Donald Trump is given some of the same type of inflammatory language that he used before January 6th.
Let's take Alan. Hey. Hello? Did we miss you? All right, call me back. All right, brother. We need to take a break anyway. We'll take a break here. We'll come back. We'll have some more conversation with you in just a minute. We'll take some of your telephone calls. 504-582-9422. You know I almost forgot the telephone number. More coming up, y'all. Everybody hold tight.
New Orleans, are you ready for a voice that says what you're thinking? Who that, you might ask? Arrington Gavin. That's right, I'm your guy, host of The Arrington Gavin Show, giving you so much filled with bold opinions, real conversations, and zero sugarcoating. We're going to be diving into the issues that matter, politics, pop culture, and all the above, unfiltered and unafraid. Catch The Arrington Gavin Show weeknights from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m., Monday through Fridays, right here on WBOK, what New Orleans is talking about.
The National World War II Museum. Located in the Warehouse District of New Orleans, the National World War II Museum tells the story of America's experience in the war that changed the world, why it was fought, how it was won, and what it means today. Visit them online at www.nationalww2museum.org for time tickets and safety information.
Coffee has been important in New Orleans for over 170 years. Today, coffee remains an important part of our culinary culture, and roasting coffee is big business here. With over thousands of coffee industry jobs here in our city, NOLA Coffee Festival is our time to celebrate Southern coffee. Join us October 3rd and 4th at Kenner Pontchartrain Center for our 3rd annual coffee show. You'll sample great coffee, attend great classes, and learn firsthand from our coffee experts. Admission starts at $20. Come learn what makes NOLA coffee hot.
As a husband, a father, and a grandfather, I think about the future every day. What's going to happen to our kids? What's going to happen to our grandkids? This city needs renewal. We need a comeback, and no one understands that better than me. I'm Oliver Thomas. I'm running to be your mayor. Not for me, but for us. Let's get this city back on track, together.
Paid for by Friends of Oliver Thomas.
WBOK. Listen now on WBOK1230.com.
Here we go. The reality check on WBOK 1230 AM.
All right, folks, welcome back. Welcome back. Dr. Shepard's in the building.
Hello, everyone.
We got Pop Jones on line one. What you say, Pop?
Hey, Dr. Shepard.
Hey, Pop Jones. How you doing?
What's
I'm
going
good.
on with you?
Thank God Almighty, I'm free at last, son.
Oh, we ain't gonna do 400 years today?
Yeah, when she got away, she got some freedom. I heard her talking.
Yeah.
Yeah, she but I heard everything you did, Dr. Shepard. You gave a good report.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. All right.
What's going on with you?
But it's so much, man. Like you're talking about the troops. I've been on the road. I've been up there in the Chicago area, and the ISIS beat up. They not only arresting people, they beating up people.
They beating up people.
Oh yeah, the people that they're arresting, they're just picking them up, man, on the corners, selling snowballs and stuff. Grab him and put him up, beat him up. So way it looked to me, the National Guard is protecting ISIS because the people are fighting back. Because ISIS is abusing some of those people.
Mm-hmm.
Were
Certainly.
y'all aware of that?
That it looks like the National Guard is protecting ICE because people are fighting back?
No, ISIS is attacking the people.
Right.
They're not just arresting them, They beat some of the people up.
Yeah.
And so, when somebody beats you up, what you going to do, Dr. Shelby?
Call my reinforcements.
Oh, you going to fight back, huh?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, so in order to protect the ISIS, you got to send the troops in.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
I can see it as that.
Uh-huh. So the troops are not to help the people. The troops are to protect ISIS.
Right. Uh-huh.
Could you go with that?
Yeah. Uh-huh. We're with that. We're with that.
I'm
It
not
seems
the
like that. It
You
seems
know, I'm
like
not the shelving knife in the drawer.
no. It
What
seems
the
like
great John Lewis said, if you see something, say something.
mm-hmm.
I was up in the Chicago area. Snowball man selling snowballs. They grabbed him, So that's what it looked like going on to me. What you think about that, Dr. Shep?
I agree with that. I think that he's calling in reinforcements because he wants to show a display of overwhelming power. But I also think that you see a lot of places where the National Guard is just walking around because they don't really have anything to do. And they're not even supposed to be used to police citizens. So it's unlawful, and yet they're still just going along following orders. But I feel like I've seen a lot of video of them walking around aimlessly with
Cleaning
no
up.
one to even target.
Raking.
Yeah.
Cleaning up parks.
Yeah. In Chicago, there's like 8 of them, 9 of them, all walking inside of a group.
Mm-hmm. Well, Dr. Shepard, I was in the military 5 years,
Mm-hmm.
and I never knew that the military had to be used against. I thought the military was used to fight the enemy against countries or something that was fighting against America. I never knew that they were supposed to be used against American people.
Yeah, there's a law that
That's
states
the
that it
first
can't
time
be.
I heard that.
Yeah, they're not supposed to be. And all of the Republicans were supposed to be the ones fighting back against that. I thought that's why they had their guns.
Oh, well.
Was because they didn't want the government to turn on the people.
Well, Dr. Shepard,
Mm-hmm.
we got 3 of them right here in Louisiana. They're not even having their town hall meetings.
Had a what?
Town hall meetings.
Oh, Okay.
They refuse to face the people.
Oh well.
Well,
Oh well.
we
Okay.
you should call them out. You know who it is?
No, I'm not a Republican.
Well, we need the Republicans to call in.
The ones that voted for them, they should be the ones to call them out, not me.
We need to find out who these people are, and they need to be voted out of office. How is it that you're not held accountable to the people who put you in?
You a Republican, Dr. Shepard?
No, of course not. They wouldn't want me in there. I wouldn't be good company.
Oh, you wouldn't be good. No, you would. You're too nice, Dr. Shepard. You wouldn't say nothing. You wouldn't act like me and your friend.
Ain't that something? That's all right. I'm gonna tell your old lady that you're
too
on the air
nice,
flirting.
Dr. Shepard.
Because you done called her name about 25 times, Dr. Shepard. Yeah.
Yeah, well, she is missed by a lot of people. She's a very nice person.
Thank you.
And then
Thank
she's
you,
smart
Pop.
at the same time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm gonna tell on you. Don't think you're getting away.
So in other words, she know what's happening. Can you look? G-Man back at him.
Yeah.
Can you dig it?
All right, Pop. Let me get these other calls.
Thank you, Pop, for calling.
All right.
Have a good rest of your day.
All right, G.
I just want you to know I'm still telling
you and G-Man whip it up on me, Dr. Shepard.
I hear.
That's all right, Playboy. I got you.
I'm not gonna let him report you.
I'll talk to you later.
All right.
Yes, indeed.
All right. Thank you. Y'all have a blessed one.
You too.
What you be doing to the guests?
What you mean? All conversations happen on the air.
Callaway.
What's going on, brother Gerod? How you doing?
Good, brother. How you doing?
How you doing, Dr. Shepard?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing all right. Y'all talking about the National Guard and radicalization? And that's right up my alley. You know, I had been in CBC all last week. I know what the National Guard is doing up there.
What's CVC?
They went to the Black Caucus.
Congressional Black Caucus.
Oh, okay. All right.
And I know what the National Guard doing up there.
You saw them?
Beautification. They doing a heck of a job cleaning up there. And the ones that's not doing beautification, they walking in groups anywhere from 3 to 5, window shopping.
No.
Hey, I'm telling you, even the ones with the 9mm, that only a few of them had the 9s, but they wouldn't listen. For $1 million a day, I want some of my tax dollars back. I'm not joking.
That's all.
Now they was not. Yeah, they was not in Southeast DC, where supposedly the bad crime area is. They was not over there.
They downtown.
They was over there.
Same thing in
downtown.
Chicago.
Yeah, and see, and you talk about radicalization. Over this weekend, we just had 2 Caucasian males commit mass murder.
Yeah.
One in the Mormon church. This dude was, when I tell you, when you talk about who radicalized him, MAGA did.
Yeah.
You know, he had 2 American flags with Trump's signature on it. He had his deer antlers on there. He had his shirt said, Trump 2020, make liberals cry.
Ooh.
Yes. These people are not playing within themselves. And of course, he was a former Marine.
But it seems like, though, that the white males are the ones that are being radicalized.
They're crashing out.
Yeah.
And she is really correct when you talk about the COVID, how COVID and the algorithm has changed these people's mindset. You know, when I do teach very few young white men that I teach, because their parents don't send them to get their GEDs. They just let them stay at home. But some of the stuff that those young men believe is just crazy.
Yeah.
This conspiracy about somebody coming to get your guns, it's been since Obama was in office. So you know what they do with their money? They don't spend their money on like different gadgets. They go out and buy AR-15.
Right.
You really got to look to see how many white males over the age of 18, some younger, have AR-15s.
Mm-hmm.
The guy in North Carolina, he was in the military also. He went and shot up some people. Who radicalized this damn fool? Because my issue is, I keep telling folks, we are in an area right now where this is not going to stop. They feel emboldened. And wouldn't you feel emboldened if you went into Washington, D.C., broke into the Capitol, assaulted police officers,
right?
Some with weapons, some with well, one of them did have a gun, tear gas, all this stuff, and guess what? You get a pardon, so you get to start all over.
Right.
That's part of the radicalization also that we need to look at.
Right.
A lot of these people do not care about going to jail or prison, or if they get caught. They really believe Trump is just going to wave his magic wand, which he possibly can.
Right.
That's a big thing. All right, man, I'm going to hang up and listen. I got to get me some sleep, man. I appreciate you, brother.
Appreciate you, boss.
All right.
Yeah, and as a matter of fact, I saw when we talk about that revenge part that there's a second FBI director who has also been they're thinking about indicting him too, because they're saying that they put 270 FBI agents in the crowd on January 6th.
Well, you remember when I went to that event that was a low-key MAGA event?
Yeah.
I told you that there was a guy from Trump's administration who was on stage speaking, and he said, we're going to come out and with some facts to show you that those people were paid actors in the crowd.
Hold that
and
thought.
so
Hold
this is that coming out.
Because I want you to tell that story.
Okay.
Hold that thought. We got to do news. Y'all going to trip out when you hear this. Who was at the MAGA rally?
Don't say me. It was a mistake. It was a trick.
Waving flags and everything.
Oh, no, don't say that.
Walking around with an AR-15. I'm like, oh.
Don't say that. It was a trick.
Yes, indeed. We're going to take a break, y'all. We'll come back. And the radicalized Dr. Shepard. Tell us more in just a minute, y'all. Everybody hold tight.
From the campus of Xavier University, WBOK Go and Equity Media Station.
I'm Misty Jordan with BIN News Now. Seattle Mayor Bruce Harrell and Attorney General Nick Brown are preparing for the possibility that President Trump sends federal troops to the city.
I personally believe and professionally believe that Trump's actions are distinctly un-American.
The Black mayor will sign an executive order this week that will improve communication between local and state agencies. The Simpsons will return to the big screen in 2027. Disney's 20th Century shared a teaser poster that shows Homer Simpson's hand reaching for a donut along with a tagline, quote, Homer's coming back for seconds, end quote. The Simpsons 2 movie will hit theaters July 23rd, 2027. And Bad Bunny will headline the 2026 Super Bowl halftime show February 8th at Levi Stadium in Santa Clara, California. Get BIN News now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Here we go. The reality check on WBOK 1230 AM.
Hey, folks, welcome back. Welcome back. Gerard Stevens with you.
Dr. Shepard, you be trying to get me in trouble when we come in from off the break.
Tell the people.
You want me to say it?
You radicalized.
Look, you're not going to get me. I heard them talking about Antifa this and all of that. You know what I mean? You're not going to catch me like that, G.
So
you
let's
be
go,
quicker
let's
than
go
that.
to this meeting that you went to. Well, you know what? Before we do that, we got something really, really important to tell everybody what's happening tomorrow morning.
Okay, what's that?
Doing the Good Morning Show. And that is you want to hear the candidates that are running for mayor. They will be here tomorrow morning for a forum. And that's going to happen during the Good Morning Show. And you'll be able to, will they be able to call in too? Will they be able to call in with them? No? Okay. So more than likely you will hear all the questions coming in through the guests, the folks that are going to, not the guests, but the moderators, the folks, the hosts, Will and my chief Compass. So they will definitely be here asking and putting hard questions to them. So we'll get a chance to hear them. So the candidates running for mayor,
Mm-hmm.
that bell, they will be here tomorrow morning,
Uh-huh. At what time?
7:30. No more bell today. No more.
Okay, so the mayor, the potential for mayors, right?
All the candidates.
Debate.
Mhm.
Okay, it's gonna be tomorrow morning on this
7:30.
radio station
On this
at
radio
7:30.
station. Yes.
Okay,
AM
I'm gonna
and
have
FM.
to. I'm gonna have to.
AM and FM, right? Okay. Yep, AM and FM. So you'll be able to hear it at 7:30. Tell somebody, and make sure that you are tuned in to the Good Morning Show.
Yeah.
Because they will be here having conversation with you, and the questions will be asked.
Mm-hmm.
And I know Will and Chief Compass will do a good job with making sure that they'll get the questions in. I'll tell everybody to just go on Facebook and watch the Facebook page.
Oh yeah.
And have the chat too, because we try to monitor our Facebook pages.
Mm-hmm.
We don't get every question, but we try to monitor them though.
Also, they should make
And
sure that
YouTube.
they share.
Right.
They should make sure that they share it as
share
well
with
to get
somebody.
the word out.
Absolutely.
Especially on Facebook, so that it could catch some people who wouldn't normally catch it. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So that they can know about early voting and the fact that they should be voting early.
And early voting is going on now.
Yes.
Started Saturday.
Mm-hmm. When does it end?
Next Saturday. This Saturday coming October the 4th.
Okay, so they got to do it this week.
Yep. This is the week.
Yeah, and so
Who's
we're
that voice?
so yeah, we're not able to take calls tomorrow. But if you do go to YouTube or Facebook, enter your questions in the chat. They will be asked and answered.
Good enough.
Okay,
you, sir.
'cause I was going to try and stack the deck for my question.
Who's that voice?
I was going to try and do that.
Who is that voice?
The man behind the glass.
You know Halloween coming up.
Mhm,
It's Freddy Krueger. Talk about this thing, cause I need everybody to know about your visit to MAGA World.
Okay, I'm going to say it and try to remain calm.
I'ma just sit here and go, Lord Jesus.
I'm going to try to remain calm. So,
It's the MAGA World story. Here we go.
I don't want to say that it was publicized on this radio station. However, it was publicized on this radio station. So I went thinking
the guy
that
actually advertised a MAGA, what you call it?
yeah, but they didn't say it was MAGA.
They didn't
They
tell
said that
everybody.
it was something like International Truth Day
Right.
or something like that. And so the event, when I actually wound up going to it thinking that I would see a bunch of friendly faces from in the community, I wound up going there and it was a few friendly faces that I knew in the audience, but none that were the orchestrators or anything. And I wound up getting there at an off time where I saw a guy who was a Trump administrator on the stage. And he was talking about, certain, I think everybody here should know I'm a well-researched. I'm a good researcher. However, I also could get with you on certain conspiracy theory stuff. I've heard enough to where, like, I could be open to some conspiracy theory. And I think that as Black people, sometimes you'll hear certain stuff and you'll let people talk.
You ain't never been down with none of my conspiracy.
I'm always down with the conspiracy theories. I'm always down. I feel like there's certain stuff as Black people, you'll let somebody talk. If somebody said, yeah, somebody killed JFK, you'll be like, okay,
tell
all
me
right,
more,
tell
tell
me
me
more.
more.
Right. Okay. So he was saying stuff that was kind of like along those lines. And so I was just kind of waiting and waiting and waiting. And he got to a point where he started to call the people who stormed the Capitol on January 6th patriots. And this was like maybe was this like early spring or I feel like it was like
It had to be like April.
April, yeah.
April, May. Somewhere. It was
Some-
April. I think
yeah,
it was April.
it was probably in April. So
Mhm.
like we weren't as deep down in the Trump hole as we are now,
Mhm.
But so when they said patriots, that got me. And then the more that they said things, and this was like, if we were in April, Trump had only been in office like a month or so. And we had already seen neo-Nazis start marching around in Ohio, and all of these things that kind of showed us Elon Musk had already given the Hail Hitler salute and all of these things. So the guy who was standing up there started speaking in this way that made me feel as though, oh, you're one of them, right? As soon as you call the January 6th people protesters or patriots, which now they've even gotten into the language of calling them tourists. Okay, they were just touring the Capitol, and saying things like there were paid actors who were inside of the crowd that was moving the crowd, and so the people who wound up storming the Capitol were paid actors and were not actual Trump loyalists, because they wouldn't act like that and they were only there to just be supportive. And as he starts saying these things, I started to take offense. I'm gonna just say certain stuff, and I hadn't heard anybody be responsive to any of the questions I would have who had that kind of rhetoric. So when it came for question and answer period, I went to go ask them about it, and I said, well, I feel like I started blocking out parts of it. Okay, so I don't remember everything. But I opened up the question asking, like, well, you called these people patriots, but what do you say about, the fact that we're seeing a surge in overt, violent white nationalism, with Elon Musk doing the Hail Hitler salute and neo-Nazis coming out in protest, and them being supportive of the fact that Elon Musk did this neo-Nazi salute. I started asking him questions like that. And as I was asking the question, the sister, who was one of the people who put it on, started trying to silence me and grabbed the microphone and before this, she told me that they wouldn't have had time to answer my question. And my question was the only question. But once she realized that I wasn't with what was going on the stage, she was trying to make it so that I wouldn't be able to talk. So once I asked the question and she started taking the microphone from me, the guy on stage told me that there was no surge in white nationalism, that in fact what we see is a surge in violence from the left, and that I should stay tuned because they would wind up showing that the people were indeed paid actors, and they're going to be locking people up who had anything to do with causing an insurrection on the Capitol and misleading those good patriots. Okay. And as he started talking, then I started trying to respond back, but I couldn't respond back because the woman had taken the microphone from you. And so, and walked away. And because I was speaking back to him like, well, how could you say that there's no neo-Nazis in Ohio just yesterday? And I'm trying to talk to him, but I don't have a mic. And then the woman who took the microphone turns and starts screaming at me and starts saying that I'm wrong and that I'm being racist, and turning it on me as though the problem in the room was me and not like maybe I shouldn't be able to ask about white nationalism or the fact that they are finding, because I said, if you consider that these patriots are being misled, these people are patriots, if you will, could you at least also recognize the fact that there is a far right, white, violent, extremist aspect that is finding cover in the beds of the Republican Party? That's what I said. Under the blankets of the Republican Party, these people are finding cover, right? And he responded to that. Instead of what I would expect a regular person to do is to admit it or at least recognize that's a thing and then say, but we're all not like that. Most Republicans are white conservative. No, he said there is no surge in white neo-Nazis or white nationalism. And in fact, what we have is a surge in violence from the left. Okay, and so that kind of like turn around is what made me start going back. But then I think I told you at the same time I had to leave, and this woman turns around and starts screaming at me. And I'm like, you don't have to scream at me. You need to talk to him and the rest of these people in here who support white racists and are not willing to call him out, and it's time for me to go. So it was this very contentious space, and it was one where I started to see the rhetoric flip already, and this Trump administrator who said that he was one of Trump's good friends told me that they were going to be putting out information saying that there were paid actors at the Capitol, and that they're going to start coming out with mass arrests for those people, even though they had, I don't know by this time if they had pardoned the January 6ers.
No.
Okay, so I think that me talking about that meeting is to say they were already cooking this up in April to be able to start slow leaking it now to where people actually think, oh, there were 274 paid actors who misled the crowd out there, as opposed to, are the Proud Boys not the Proud Boys?
And
are the
who
man with the little with the horns on his head? We know his name.
Right.
Like, how is it that you're able to deflect the thousands of people who were out there and say there were a few hundred paid actors and the people who came there were good patriots, and now what they call them is tourists?
Mm-hmm. But plus, who brought the news?
So they're saying that some of those people are paid people, but what I'm saying is we know the groups. You can name the actual names of the groups. We can't name any names of Antifa people because that's not a thing.
And not only that, but 274 FBI agents, and you don't know not one name?
And if they really wanted for it to be one, then wouldn't they have fired on those people?
Right.
If they really wanted it to be this large demonstration and it was some FBI people who planted them in and did it, wouldn't those people then have came out with their guns, fired on the patriots and all of these other things? It could have been a much bigger thing. What it seemed like is that they had people at the Capitol who knew it was coming and told their officers to stand down. The night before the January 6th thing, so on January 5th, me and my dad were watching the news, and they said that the police officers who were going to be at the Capitol already had instructions not to bring their weapons. Mm-hmm. And we was like, why would they tell those people not to bring their weapons if they know that this big old hostile crowd is coming? So they had instructions already from the higher up authorities inside of Trump's cabinet for them not to fire and to stand down. The military had the response to stand down. They say usually when there's something that's happening at Washington, D.C., the tri-state police all get together. So there should have been police from each state, plus Washington, D.C. police, plus the National Guard or whoever else would have gave security. Why is it that on that day, we see about 10 police officers who are D.C. police, and most of them don't have weapons?
And
they
not
already
only that,
had.
but don't forget that, just the week before, there was a black event in D.C., and you would have thought that was a national response because they had the National Guard standing at the steps of all the federal buildings.
They know how to have security when they want it.
Even when Trump was there talking about something, he was going to church and wanted to take the picture with the Bible.
With the Bible upside down?
Upside down. They had federal troops there.
Right. So, to me, it seemed like they told those people to stand down because the people who love fringe movements in the government gave them the ability to do that. Not that someone had coerced them into showing themselves up at the Capitol and then planted people inside of there to make them riot the way that they did. And additionally, like I said, we know people's names. We got people in the chat saying the Oath Keepers, the 3%ers, and all of these other. We know exactly who those folks were. And some of them now have ICE agent jobs.
The Proud Boys.
Right.
And don't forget, they're moving through that crowd to get to the top of the steps.
And they were doing their military.
They were doing military moves.
Tactics to be able to get up there.
Mm-hmm.
So, no, we know that there are people from the government in the crowd. It's just that they were all sympathetic and kind to one another because they wanted to see it go down. Because if it was the opposite, then there would have been more opposition. Just regular legal opposition. Because that's what we're used to seeing from them anyway. What happened on January 6th was an inside job. How they say 9/11 was an inside job? January 6th was an inside job.
Yep. And don't forget they got video of several of the aides and a couple of the folks that are there. They are congressmen or running through, holding up their fists.
Right, because they wanted to be a part of it.
Yep.
And some of them was giving them instructions for where to go inside the building. Remember that?
Yep. And one of the ladies had a bullhorn telling them, you need to go to the left.
Wow.
This one needs to go to the right.
Wow.
Did you ever see the documentary?
No, I hadn't seen a documentary.
The documentary tells you what happened on January 6th. It was disturbing.
I see Deirdre saying the Capitol Police had weapons the day that they shot that young black mother to death 10 years ago in front of her 1-year-old daughter.
Yep, in her car. Yep.
Okay, they're always armed. But on that day, only, 2 people who were on the inside chambers by the actual congressman had their weapons.
Mm-hmm.
Ridiculous.
All right, we're going to take a break. You want to take a break? Let's take a break here. We'll take a break. And we'll come back and try to get Will Sutton, who's also going to join us in just a few minutes from the Times Pick and also morning show host to talk about tomorrow morning. He's going to try to join us here.
Oh, that'd be great.
More coming up, y'all. Everybody hold tight.
This is the Bloomberg Black Business Beat. New York Knicks all-star forward Karl Anthony Towns is getting ready for another big season in the Big Apple. But off the court, Towns has his eyes on business and plans to invest in teams once his playing days are over. He stopped by Bloomberg World headquarters for the annual Power Players event and said that even though he's a basketball player, he's really interested in another sport's growth.
I know because I play basketball, we jump to the NBA franchises, but I think there's more opportunities out there in other sports as well, and I think one of the ones that I'm very intrigued in is MLS. I think MLS has a large growing factor, and with soccer already so big around the world and outside of America and only growing here now thanks to, Messi and some other big names coming over, I think that there's a chance to get in early right now into the MLS game.
It sounds like at least one prominent Knicks player will be ready for the FIFA World Cup when it comes to the U.S. I'm Bloomberg's Justin Milliner on the Black Business Beat.
Lowe's knows you've got a job to do, and we help get it done. With the MyLowe's Pro Rewards program, eligible members save more with volume discounts on qualifying orders through a quote of $2,000 or more. Join for free today. Lowe's, we help, you save. Offer can't be combined with any other discount, contract, and/or special pricing. Exclusions, more terms, and restrictions apply. Details at lowes.com/terms. Subject to change.
With Fidelity Wealth Management, a dedicated advisor gets to know you and your goals to build a comprehensive plan to help grow and protect your wealth. Backed by a team of specialists, they'll analyze all your accounts, even the ones they don't manage, to keep an eye on taxes and provide proactive portfolio insights that can help you unlock your wealth's full potential. Learn more at fidelity.com/wealth. Investment minimums apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC. Member NYSE SIPC.
You're invited to step back into New Orleans history for Community Day at the Dewdrop Inn with Tulane University's special collections, presented by the Primo Memorial Series. Saturday, October 18th from 12 to 2 p.m. Celebrate the Dewdrop Inn legacy with a live musical show. Enjoy a brunch buffet and explore archival materials. Free admission, but space is limited. For more information, visit library.tulane.edu/Dewdrop Community Day.
Making a difference in the community. WBOK 1230 AM. Here we go. The reality check on WBOK 1230 AM.
All right, folks, welcome back. Welcome back. It's Monday. Dr. Shepard in the building.
Hello, everyone.
Gerard Stevens with you, and on line one, the morning show host extraordinaire, Mr. Will Sutton's on the phone. What you say, sir?
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. How you doing, Dr. Shepard?
Happy Monday, Mr. Sutton. I'm doing well. How are you?
Fabulous. How's those boys doing?
Oh, they're doing wonderful. Thank you for asking.
All right, Mr. G-Man, how your day going?
Oh, man, it's another day. Trying to make $1 out of 15 cents. You know how we do.
Hey, I was out there. I did my early voting on Saturday, and looks like we had about more than 10,000 people out on the first day.
Yep. Speaking of that, looks like you're playing politics as well tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
So
Yes, sir.
tomorrow's forum on the Good Morning Show. Give us some insight.
Yes. So this has been talked about over a number of days and weeks, trying to figure out what can be done at WBOK on the Good Morning Show. Suffice to say that tomorrow is the big day. We looked at polls and other factors the station management and leadership did. And so we've invited the top 4 candidates to participate in a 1-hour WBOK special mayoral debate. So they will be live in studio, and we will be asking questions and getting answers. And the part of each question will have a Black focus. So even if it's economic development, we will ask them to put that in a Black community context. If it is affordable housing, what is the Black community context? If it is about jobs, what is the Black community context? If it is about the future of hospitality and tourism, what is the Black context for that? Because after all, WBOK serves a largely Black community audience of listeners, and we don't need to have the same questions in the same context
So you
as
sounded
the other
intentional.
debates and forums.
You're sounding intentional.
Yes, absolutely.
And
now,
nothing's wrong with
if they choose to answer it another way, then you can hear them do that. But the questions will be focused on our Black community.
Now, one of the questions we've been getting for the last couple of minutes here was about those that want to ask questions. I'm understanding that the phones will not be going on at that time, but they can email you.
Absolutely, they can email me, and it's my email address, and it is Editor Will Sutton, all one word, 3 words, 1 line, no uppercase, no special characters, no special anything, underscore, anything like that. EditorWillSutton @gmail.com. Again, Editor Will Sutton, as it sounds, but in case anybody wants to spell it out, EditorWillSutton @gmail.com. And just to give folks an idea about the timing, that's been available since this morning, this afternoon. It will be available this evening. I do intend to attend a program about the 100th anniversary of the Louisiana Weekly this evening. And when that is done, I'll be heading back home, reviewing whatever I have and putting them in to the time slots that we can, as best we can, and that'll be it. So it's not going to be at 6:55. Here's a question.
All right. So let me throw a little bit of something in there for you. I know this is something too that's going to come from experience. You know just as well as I do, and this is no disrespect to anybody that may want to send you an email. Try to cut down on the stories.
Yes.
And the reason
Absolutely.
I say that is because you have to try to make this as brief as possible to get to the folks. And if you got, 4 candidates asking a question, you got to get at least more than one question. And then you don't want to sit there and just read somebody's entire story on the reason why they're asking the question in the first place.
Absolutely. So what I said on the Good Morning Show is, first of all, if you do send an email, put WBOK mayoral debate. And then your name, because then I'll know it's for that, because I have multiple email addresses like other people, but I'm using this one for that. And I want to make sure that as I look before I leave to head out to Louisiana Weekly program and then come back, that I will be seeing the WBOK, and looking for those. And what I suggested this morning is put WBOK mayoral debate. Put your name
so
in
would
the
you mind
subject
if
line.
I try to do some follow-up with
Absolutely.
the debate and what we heard and what we saw tomorrow evening?
Absolutely, positively, because of course it will be recorded, and the candidates who have been offered that opportunity will have them in the studio live, and of course it will be recorded. And hope that we'll produce some answers that haven't been given otherwise, or if they have been given otherwise, I expect to hear the word black.
Yes, indeed. Well, I know you got to go. I just wanted to make sure that we got this together so that we'll know exactly what it is. We'll be listening to make sure that we got some clarity. We want to make sure that we go over it again tomorrow afternoon after the show. So that'll be great.
All right. Very
Thank you,
good.
sir, and all the work that you and
Absolutely.
Chief do.
All right.
Thank
Thank
you
you so much.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Have a blessed evening.
You too.
Will Sutton, the host of the Good Morning Show, and also if you want to ask him to ask a question, make sure that you email him. Let me give it to you again so that you'll have it, and let me give it to you so that you can write your question. I'm serious. Listen, that's no disrespect to anybody. I don't want you to think that I'm trying to be funny with it, but when folks got a question, they usually try to tell you the story with it, why they're asking the question. It probably would be better if you just asked the question instead of writing a whole dissertation to them because of the fact that they only have a limited time.
Oh, okay, so I got to keep it brief.
Can you please?
Oh, because I was over here already.
I
with my
already saw
letter.
you. I already saw you when I was like, oh, Lord, there she goes.
Let me shorten it up real quick.
Yeah, your question is called dissertation.
Let's see.
Thesis.
So my first part of my first question is.
No, don't do it that way.
Okay.
Let me give you the email again, just in case you want to make sure that we'll get your question. Editor, EDITOR, Will Sutton, all one word. Editor Will Sutton. Editor, EDITOR, WILLSUTON, @gmail.com.
Well, can I tell you why this is important? Can I tell you why this is important?
As long as you don't write it down and send it to Will.
No. I was going to say, I'm looking and I saw Gary Chambers post something about the early voting results.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, he says, now this is, I'm gonna just read it, okay?
Okay.
But I really respect the fact that he does this kind of activism at homework, and hopefully it stirs people already.
Mm-hmm.
It says, on the first day of early voting in New Orleans, 6,230 black voters, 3,752 white voters, and 558 other voters cast their ballot. So 6,000-ish black voters, 3,000-ish white voters, and 500 others. Black voters are leading early turnout, but with 135,598 still registered to vote, the power to decide the next mayor and council is clear. Only 4% of voters have participated so far.
Mm-hmm.
The story of this election has not been written yet. Every reminder, every text, every ride to the polls matters. When our community shows up, votes beat money. Votes beat narratives. The future of New Orleans will be decided by those who show up and vote. Don't be fooled by those saying race doesn't matter when most white voters have already chosen a side, while over 80% of undecided voters are black. That's why attempts to make us doubt black leadership are everywhere. He says we need wise, we don't need perfect leadership. We need wise, assertive leadership for this season. So I guess I'm saying that as my personal message to tell people to get out, because only 4% of the voters have participated so far. And of the black voters, 6,000 out of 135,000 have voted.
So what that mean?
That means that people need to start shaking and waking everybody to come on out.
I mean, we got low voter turnout on our first day. Only 4%.
That means that people need to not be discouraged so that they can come on out and vote. And everybody needs to grab their people and grab their church members and get on buses and bring your little nephew who is registered but don't vote. Bring everybody down to the polls so that they can vote.
Well, all I can say is the dirt is already flying.
Man, it's gotten dirty already.
The dirt is already flying.
It's gotten dirty already. There are so many dirty people
I would say
in this city.
I don't know what to expect in this race. I don't know who's going to be the leader for the mayor's position. We keep hearing different stuff from, this person to this person. We keep hearing that some of these folks should be shaming themselves who they endorsing. Of course, we hear those things, but no matter how we look at this, you can't complain if you don't get out and vote.
Man, we have so many people who like to complain, though. We have so many people who like to complain and less voters, apparently. So we should tell them, look, we want to hear you complain. We want you to complain if you voted.
If you voted.
We want to hear your complaints after you voted. Maybe we should make voting a way to them,
Mm-hmm. So let me ask you this. Do you early vote or do you vote the day of?
I try to early vote. And then if I can't early vote, then I vote the day of.
Did you early vote?
I try to early vote.
Ooh, Lord Jesus, me too, girl. Did you early vote this year?
Yeah, uh-huh.
You voted already? You voted already? I'm sorry. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, I'm still thinking about, the time that folks tell me that, we criticize folks for early voting.
Oh, wait, we criticize people for early voting.
Yeah. If you don't early vote.
The point is to vote. It's not about early voting or not. Now,
I'm just seeing a lot of folks criticizing people for not early voting.
Well, because if you early vote, then that means that if there's a problem on the day of, or they try to pull some suppression type tactics, your vote is already in. It's hard for them to do voter suppression for 3 weeks, 2 weeks. It's hard for them to do that. But on the actual day of, they could just be like, the machines are down. Y'all got to go across town. And then you go across town and they like, we don't accept your people over here. You got to go to someplace else. And so intentionally causing confusion can get you if you wait on the day of. Versus if you take care of that early, then you know that your vote went in and was counted.
So you think that we're going to go through?
We always do. There's always something up with the voting machines the day of, or that some hub shut down early, or whatever. There's always an issue. So the way that you circumnavigate issues is to vote early.
I just know that the last time they talked about voting, that there was not enough ballots,
right,
for voting so a lot of people didn't get a chance to vote.
I recall.
And then the other part of it is, I think that we got to, and probably have to do this week too, is call Darren Lombard and tell Darren that we need to hear, where voting booths or those locations have changed to make sure that there's some clarity so that older folks or folks that are used to going one place have went there and voted all their life. And if it changed, where they going?
Yeah.
Because I know that is serious, and I think we can talk to Darren, because Darren is the clerk.
Right.
We won't be asking him about
his ideas about it, just where
running,
stuff is,
because he has to run again.
Right.
So he has a competitor. So we cannot talk to him about his campaign, but we can talk to him about, what's going on with this. Yep. So I want to make sure that we are doing what we're supposed to do. And then I think the other part of this, we go a little bit further. And you know what that is?
What?
Who's taking people to the polls this year? What churches got buses? What type of transportation companies are taking them?
Mm-hmm. Stroll to the polls.
Yep. So, didn't they have the stroll for the polls already?
I don't know. You had told me that
Yeah,
that's what we needed to do. So I don't know if people have picked up on it, but they need to bring their frats and their sorors out.
Yep.
And we need the old folks to come out.
Now, I know Femme Fatale did. Femme Fatale did it this weekend.
Mm-hmm. I wonder if didn't the Six War Steppers do it the last time? I wonder if they're gonna do something again. They did like a second line to the poll or something like that. They did something the last time we had a major election.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if they're gonna do that again.
So you leading the way?
I mean, if you need me to.
All right, I know somebody's stepping, y'all. Miss Pam.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, how you all doing?
I was gonna say what had happened. You was way off key, off mic there for a minute. I thought you was gonna say, "Help! I'm falling. I can't get up."
Oh no, baby, I'm not that old yet, even though I am. But guess what? I can still find a wall to pull myself up on.
I got you. How you doing?
No, but I'm good. How are you all doing?
Good.
I have to agree with Doctor and what she's saying. Now, see, let me tell you something. I've been voting since I was 18 years old, and I'll be 64 in October. But I never quite heard it said like she said it about the early voting. And yeah, because machines can go down, this, that, and the third, and that's at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. Ain't going to talk about that one. But I never thought of early voting because I've always voted the day of.
Mm-hmm.
And see, when Doctor said what she said, Dr.
Shepard, it's okay.
Dr. Shepard, I apologize. But that makes a lot of sense. And maybe we need to sense our people into, that's what we're trying to do, I know. Sense them into both. If you can't, if you can do it early, do it early. Do it.
Right.
But if anything else, take some. Last year, I took two of my neighbors, elderly neighbors. I gave them rides to the voting polls where they had to go, because where I had to vote was just right down the street and across the street. And so, it just makes sense. We need to really sense ourselves into thinking about early voting as well as regular day voting. I've always been a regular day voter, but I don't knock anyone that does it early or does it on the same day, but it makes a lot of sense to think about what Dr. Shepard just said. I just wanted to give that to you guys.
So did you said you went the day of. Did you early vote or no?
No, I'm normally a regular, the day of. But I sat and I thought, and I just sat on that for a second. I said, whoa, yeah, she's right about that one. You. And I know maybe it's been said before, but because I'm old school, I get excited about waking up the next morning and going to the polls. But what if?
I guess I'm old school too then, because I like getting up the day of and going.
Yeah, but there's nothing wrong. And maybe we should teach our younger people early vote.
Right.
Dr. Shepard said a whole lot in one voice. A whole lot. And Dr. Shepard, I'm sorry about the way you were treated and how things went down, but guess what? God's got you.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I know that. Thank you so much. I would hit my bell, but G
I
has
took her bell.
disempowered me.
Yeah.
So
G, hit the bell. Hit the bell now, G. Hit it, G.
I'm going to throw the bell.
All right, you're fired.
There you go. Wait a minute.
Thank you, Miss
Love
Pam.
y'all. All right, baby.
Thank you.
All right, Miss Pam. All right. Jay Moore. Jay Moore?
Joe Mo.
Joe Mo.
All right. Man, I want to, if you don't mind, talk about a couple of things that I know that we've talked about and give my perspective. But I think even though we talked about it, it needs to continue to be talked about. And one of the things is divide and rule. I think absolutely, without a doubt, people tend to vote according to endorsements, because many people are not very well versed. So they certainly put their trust in organizations and people who they feel may have their best interest in her. Because some people might even vote according to a familiar picture, to be honest. And I'm going to say this and I'm going to move on because I have a different point. Data Weekly, Barbara Jordan, Majors, all those people, Troy Carter, who endorse, they all have little pockets of influence. And the pockets, those pockets of people will do what they are asked. And those pockets may make the difference in this election. So here's where I'm going. I wonder, what each of those were possibly given or promised or what dirt they may have on. I'm just hitting it without feel now, right? I think that these vanquished black people choices and actions make it easy for the black community to be mishandled and disempowered. Now, this betrayal to me destroys black relationships. So everybody or whomever consider themselves having a good relationship with Duplessis or Oliver Thomas, and that relationship will never be the same. You can never fully reconcile it. I don't care how they pretend or they say it was about business or whatever they stand on. That's destroying certain relationships in the black community when we go outside and endorse like what we did. So I think old money has been quietly and patiently doing his work behind the scenes, the work of solidifying Marino politically in the black community with unsuspecting part of our community not knowing what was going on. This money and pernicious effects are coming into fruition. We continue to be easy targets. We continue to believe in white folk. So mayoral candidates were asked, if elected, will they allow police chief to remain in office? I'm more concerned with which candidate is she supporting. The game has always been to stir up pandemonium in our community. The ploy is to bring confusion and uncertainty amongst us in the black community. I'm concerned with who the white ministers in the white community support and who are they telling their congregations to vote for. I'm interested in Scalise Kennedy, Nungusta, Cynthia Lee Shane, Jean Nathan, the owner of The Advocate, the owner of Times Picayune, Press Cavalcab, Ernie Felco, and Gail Benson. Who do they support, right? That's what I'm interested in. So it's not, the political party is irrelevant to me. Power is the issue.
Right.
Republicans are supporting Marino. What changes and shifts will really occur if she is elected? Who will suffer from policy changes? Who will be hired by her to effectuate this change? Marino's black minions will be just like the Hispanics who voted for Trump, thinking they were getting something and whatever. So I don't think the voters, the astute voters and the ones who are paying attention will allow this endorsement to stultify black leadership here in New Orleans. If we have a problem with our black leadership, let's work with it. Let's empower it. Let's get it together. Never go against it. Thank you.
Man, you make a whole lot of sense, J-Mo. Where you been? That's a whole lot of sense there, boy. That's a whole lot of sense. We gotta take a break. Yeah, we gotta take another break. We'll take a break here. We'll come back. More coming up, y'all. Everybody hold tight as we get ready to wrap up the show.
AURN News.
I'm Ebony McMorris. The White House is upping the stakes in the shutdown fight.
In a late-night memo, the Budget Office told agencies to draft plans for mass firings if Congress doesn't pass a spending bill by next week. That means federal jobs wouldn't be paused, but they would actually be gone. Democratic leaders are blasting the move. Hakeem Jeffries told OMB's Rush Vought to, quote, get lost, while Chuck Schumer called the memo an intimidation tactic and predicted the firings wouldn't stand. The president and Republicans want a 7-week extension with no changes. Democrats want health care on the table, subsidies extended, and Medicare cuts reversed. The message from OMB is that Trump's priorities like border spending will keep running, but thousands of federal workers could be left behind. For these stories and more, go to AURN News or follow me across social media at Ebony McMorris.
I'm David Patan Sr., owner of Whole Water and Food Over Medicine Academy, coach, consultant, and instructor. We're excited about our 21-day challenge. Stop, prevent, and reverse disease today. Cholesterol, diabetes type 2, high blood pressure, along with chronic illnesses and diseases. We believe that the gift of wellness is the greatest gift, and for $30 per month, $1 a day, you can have this gift for you and your family.
I'm Phyllis Washington, and I've benefited with health and weight loss.
For your gift of $30, healing and wellness can be yours. Call 504-701-4711. That's 504-701-4711. The Whole Water Store. See you at 2135 Washington Avenue today.
A message from the community scientist. Do you live or work in St. James, St. John, St. Charles, Ascension, Calcasieu, Baton Rouge, or St. Bernard Parish? You may be exposed to harmful chemicals like phthalates, BPA, and flame retardants found in everyday products but linked to serious health risks. That's why the Community Scientist, a program of Rise St. James, brings you clear, science-based facts that protect your health and our environment. Stay informed, stay empowered. Visit risestjames.org today.
New Orleans is an easy city to love. It shouldn't be a hard place to live. I'm Matthew Willard, born and raised in Gentilly, proud to carry on my family's tradition of public service. In less than 6 years, I passed 36 bills that made a difference. Now I'm running for City Council at Large Division 1 so we can keep living in the city we love. Safe, affordable, and one that gets the job done. New Orleans, let's make it happen. Paid for by the Matthew Willard Campaign.
Visit DePaul's new Algiers Health Center at 2801 General de Gaulle Drive to receive primary and preventive care for both adults and children. Services also include behavioral health, imaging, and on-site pharmacy, vision, Medicaid enrollment assistance, and more. For appointments, visit DePaulCommunityHealthCenters.org or call 504-207-3060.
Transform your bathroom with the beautiful quality of Bath Planet. As a trusted leader in bathroom renovation, Bath Planet has earned the Good Housekeeping seal, a symbol of quality and consumer confidence for over 100 years. Get half off installation or 18 months with no interest and no payments. Whether it's tub replacement, a shower replacement, or a tub-to-shower conversion, Bath Planet makes your custom bath fast, easy, and affordable. Here's how it works. 1. Call to schedule your free, no-obligation consultation. 2. Our design experts come to you with real samples to customize your dream bath. 3. Our certified installers complete the transformation in as little as 1 day. And right now, for a limited time, you can upgrade your bathroom for 50% off installation or choose 18 months with no interest and no payments. But you need to call now. This special offer is only available by calling 800-981-8177. That's 800-981-8177. Call 800-981-8177 right now before the offer ends.
Hey, Pontchartrain Park. Thanks for listening to WBOK.
Here we go. The reality check on WBOK 1230 AM.
All right, folks, we're back. Dr. Shepard in the building.
Hello.
Mr. Bill, you're on line one. What you say?
Dr. Shepard and G-Man, thank you.
What's going on with you?
I want to speak about the mail-in voter situation, but prior to that, I got to throw in two quick things.
Okay.
During the football game last night, there was a commercial that came on, an election commercial. Margaret Orr, as the brother was speaking earlier, he was dynamic, man. He's asking who's endorsing whom and so forth. So on. Margaret Orr did a commercial for Helena Moreno.
Yeah, that's old. Mm-hmm.
That's the first time I saw it.
Mm-hmm.
Fire in her eyes and pretty much demanding that you go out and vote for her.
Mm-hmm.
But first time I saw it, not there. But another thing, I pulled out of my mailbox today from Red Bottoms, a two-sided colored, whatever they call it. This thing is 12 by 15. This is a pretty penny, bro. These things cost a pretty penny. I was in reproduction back when and so forth. And I know he paid dearly for this.
No,
With the mail-in voter
he
form.
got money. He took 13,000 for energy.
Wow.
Oh, I was supposed to tell that.
The mail-in voter form.
I'm glad
it's
you
different.
said it before I did.
Hello?
Yeah.
No, go ahead.
Okay, the mail-in voter form is different this election. When my sister got it, I just pulled out the ballot and left everything else in the envelope. Today, I had mark out spots and so forth and so on. We have a ballot that goes into an envelope. And on the back of that envelope, you write your information. Name, rank, serial number, your mother's maiden name, witness, and this, that, and the other. That, like I say, the ballot goes in that envelope. Then there's another envelope, you put that envelope. And there's something written on it. And then both those envelopes goes into a third envelope. And I know it's going to throw some of the elderly off because this is the first time I've seen it. She gets a ballot every election. It's going to be confusing to a lot of elderly, I'm pretty sure. It looks like in a roundabout way one of those tricks to get people from not sending in the right form of envelopes, all those envelopes stuffed into each other, the wrong envelope or what have you, and so forth and so on. So I could expect a little bit of a mess from that. They may just stick the ballot in the main envelope and send that in. That won't qualify them for their vote. I'm pretty sure.
But I wonder though, will some of those votes, some of those mail-in votes, be disqualified because they don't follow the rules, or that you said?
That's what I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Like I said, you got the ballot that goes in the envelope. That's the smallest. Then that envelope goes into another envelope, and on the back of one of those envelopes, you write your information, name, rank, serial number, so forth, so on. And then those two envelopes goes inside the third mailing envelope.
Oh, wow.
And
so it's 3 envelopes you got to mail in.
It's 3 envelopes. 3 envelopes.
And 2 go inside of 1.
2 go inside. The first one with the ballot in, it goes into the envelope. Then that envelope goes into the third envelope.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm wondering if all that is one regular stamp will transport it sufficiently.
Yeah.
So I was going to stick it in the mail today. I said, no, I'm going to swing by a post office and let them weigh this in case it needs another 3 to 5 cents or something out of the other.
All right, my friend. We might have to ask that question too.
Hang tough.
All right, my friend. Talk to you later.
Later.
All right. Hey, Ron.
What's down with it, man?
What's happening with you?
What's going on?
I'm calling. What's up, sis? What's up, sis? First, shouts out to the Fatherhood Roundtable as well as the People's Political Party. We need to have better educational tools to understand and know why the people that's not voting, on why they are voting. People in my generation, some of us, I'm a registered voter. Let me just get that clear. But some of us are not, because these conversations is actually going over some people in my generation's head. I mean, we constantly hear people die for our vote, but you have people that's actually going out there and vote. And in reality, they're not seeing what they're going to vote for, whether their candidate win or the candidate don't win. You know, we have a lot of opportunists in our neighborhood. And what I mean by that is that a lot of these opportunists, they come into our communities and they see the things that we're not doing, and they start to capitalize off our ignorance because they take and make money off the things that we not doing. They see, like, you know, the community's needs or whatever, and that's what they do. So if we can take and, you know, kind of combat that by having real education. I ain't talking about that watered down stuff what some people be doing. You know,
Right.
I'm talking about have real direct educational classes on the vote, what it does, because, you know, a lot of us, you know, like I said the other day, we understand and know why Denzel Washington received an award from playing Training Day, A Dirty Cop, but didn't receive one from playing Malcolm X. It's that same type of game, that same type of thinking, that same type of ideology is why our community is where we are at right now. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of us don't have our heads in the sand as if, you know, that's our all. You know, so that's what I think that needs to be implemented. Because I mean, look at the brother who just called just now. Look at the type of trickery that's going on with 1 and 2, 3 envelopes that you got to take and mail back.
Right.
You think that's done by coincidence? No, indeed. That's done for a particular cause. But there are those in our community who know, who pretend they don't know, so we find out that they know. You dig? Y'all keep doing what y'all doing, man. Love
All
y'all,
right,
man.
hey, Ron.
Peace.
Well,
I
we need to be
just-
asking those questions, though.
Yeah. You know, we should probably get somebody from Vote to come on.
From Vote and somebody from the registered voters office.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
You got to hook that up, G. You know everybody in your phone.
I don't have that one, but I will get it. But I
Of
do
course
have the
you will.
people from Vote. I know Norris. So,
Mhm.
all right, that's gonna wrap that up for today. Always good to have you around, baby.
Thank you for having me, dear.
All right, stay out of trouble.
I make no promises.
I know. Oh Lord.
There's more work to be done.
Yes, indeed. That's going to wrap it up for us, y'all. Hope everybody is doing all right. We will see you on tomorrow. Judy Boudreaux is going to join us tomorrow to be talking about some great stuff happening in the city. Make sure that you join us tomorrow. She'll be here about 4:20. And we will also probably talk to Will again tomorrow afternoon after the forum on tomorrow morning on the Good Morning Show. Make sure that you check it out. All the candidates the top 4 candidates for mayor will be here on tomorrow morning. Y'all have a great rest of the day, and we'll see you on tomorrow.